Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Always and welcome back to Material Energy 5. In the last episode, we were working on getting some of the trophies here outside of the station, as well as just completing the monument the best we could, and I've been working on that off camera, but I thought I'd bring you guys in for a bit of an update because I was exploring out here. I have all my stuff on me, which is probably not the best idea, but I was mostly sticking to everything that we completed long time ago, and I decided to fly over to this area. So if you do not recall, we were going down to get down somewhere and do something in one of the quests, and we came down like this way and came into this room. There were some spawners here. We cleared out most of this, and then we went down that way. There is a secret down there. I decided I'm gonna show you guys, but I noticed this little platform and decided, hey, you know what, let's go see what's over there. And turns out there is stuff over there. So we just kind of fly over here, and there was a piece of slime on top of these two blocks, but there is a skystone chest with some rewards in it, and I thought that can't be it, and well, it's not. So there's also a blaze trophy right here. Oh, I need a vanilla pickaxe, so let's grab the one from our bag. Cool. So there is the blaze trophy. And while we're over in this area, let's go ahead and show off another secret that I discovered. I talked about this last time, but I did do a bit of exploration in creative mode and spectator mode, mostly just because I was trying to figure out if we could get flaked from bats, and the answer was no. But this is still nerve-wracking. Yeah, so I do know about this secret. I discovered it from just flying around and trying to figure out where the power source for the ME system is. But this room is kind of, well, empty, except there is a secret. And the secret is really hard to find. It's right here, actually. So, yeah. Why did that... Is there like a hopper underneath it? Oh no, I have a magnet. Alright, so let's get in here. There is a way to get back out, I do believe, but these pistons are probably pretty good. Also, we can just, you know, use our staff of traveling. Oh hey, there's a bunch of the redstone is right here. I wonder if there's any secrets in this. I didn't actually explore this area. I just found the, well, this. And what this is not much of anything. There is a drive here. I don't actually know if I know what's on the drive. I don't think it's much of anything. I think it's just some loot. Yeah, there's 4. We can take the ME drive as well. That would be just fine. There's some iron blocks here, which is really nice. And then it goes to the void. And I think this is a way to kind of figure out that, hey, you can get down there and there's stuff down there. But let's just go back up to the observatory. There's one other thing I want to show you before we get into kind of the meat of what I want to do for right now anyways. And that is, there is a secret right here. This one I also encountered. There's an item buffer with a basic reward chest. Nothing major, but kind of cool. One other thing that I noticed while I was out here is over here where we got the ore class originally. You can see it right there. If we move just a little bit over, there's actually a block of ore class underneath the platform. So it might be good to explore underneath a little bit as well. But let's go to the observatory. And we will get some stuff together. So I guess let's go ahead and complete the blaze. We get an epic reward. Let's open basic. Let's put the blaze trophy in here. We'll go put that on the monument later. We have some uncommons. lots of good things, alchemistry things. That is nice. That is not where I thought it was. So that's there, that's there. I was kind of looking around a little bit, doing some weird things. And I'll show you some of the stuff I was working on here in a moment. But yeah, it's got some uncommon and whatnot rewards. Not much of anything, but still cool. So 10 uncommon rewards gives us an ability totem with jump boost. Alright, we don't really need that. Let's get rid of everything on here. 5 rare rewards. Golden lasso, that is nice. I always like having more of those. Sleeping bag is useless. And 2 epics, dark leggings, and a potion of swiftness. Alright, so one of the big things that I've been working on between episodes is, well, destroying this area, Summer Haven. So the mountain is mostly gone. The clouds take forever to break down, so I don't know if I'm ever going to break down these guys. But yeah, I am going to be slowly just eating away at this place, and I'll show that off every once in a while. And it's just to kind of both spend time and get resources, even if it's just like stone and whatnot. One thing I do need to look into, and that'll be another clip, is improving our cobblestone generation. This, I put a compacting drawer, so it will automatically just kind of convert upwards. It's going pretty good. That shouldn't take too long. And the biggest thing I've been working on is in the alchemy lab. So I got rid of a lot of the void stone, and I'm going to be moving all of the chemicals into, or I guess elements, into more of a periodic table. Turns out you can actually use drawers. The only thing is helium and hydrogen will have to be their own separates. But I'm going to kind of fill this in, and there's a couple things I want to do up here with the alchemy lab just to make things easier, because I think that is the path we're going to go for making a bunch of nether stars. We can make the fusion core, we can make the fusion crafter. It's going to be a little bit expensive because it does require, I think it's a 5x5 multi-block, but I do have that was a Enderman somewhere. Let's see, selenium. I went ahead and selenium is really easy to get. It comes from fish. It also comes from netherwort, so it is super easy to get. And what we can do is go ahead and craft it into some selenium ingots. And we just need 5 of these to make a fusion controller. Now, it does require tungsten. Tungsten is probably the hardest thing for us to get right now. Hello, Mr. Enderman. But having the selenium ingots is going to be good. I don't think we have any tungsten at this point. It's 74. We have 1. We have all of 1 tungsten. So I want to make the chemical dissolver a little bit easier to use. So we're going to do 2 things. One, I'm going to put all of this in here, and I'm going to be moving all of these elements over here, and we're going to be using storage upgrades with the emerald. These are actually really cheap. It's just literally just wood. We will probably use the basic drawers. Even though it's cheaper to use the half drawers, these are a little bit easier to make. And I thought about, I might auto craft those. But we get the storage upgrades. We can actually make a couple of those right now. And yeah, these are going to be really cheap. We have so many emeralds. We have over 1,000 because of one of the rewards last time. And that will let us store just tons of stuff. Now, the other thing that we need for the drawer system is we are going to need, let's get more of these. So we're going to need some chests. I can always get infinite chests from the diamonds. I don't think the slightly larger chests count. No, they do not. But, yeah, I don't know. I think these are empty. And honestly, if they're not, I don't really care too much. But we are going to get a drawer controller. So we just need another redstone comparator. We're just going to need 3 redstone torches. And what this will allow us to do is make things a little bit easier. So with the drawer controller, whenever I have, let's look, I put the periodic table here. I wish it was a little bit larger. Lithium is directly underneath. So we're going to put lithium there. And if I grab a bunch of hydrogen and lithium, so we have 2 lithium and 1 stack of hydrogen. And if I put those in there, they go from my inventory. We now have 4 stacks of lithium and 7 stacks of hydrogen in there. And what we can do is, instead of piping into a chest like this, we get all the elements set up, locked up, which if we get a drawer key, we can lock all of the things at once. And then we can just dump things into a chemical dissolver, and it will filter out. If we want to worry about all of these types of things, we just have another chest that it can go to. When we put them all into a single chest and then pipe that into the drawer system, and it will get all the elements out and fill it up. Whenever a drawer is full, we'll see it in the chest. So basically, the drawer controller just allows you to insert and export items that are all in the drawer that it's connected to. So really powerful, really cool, really useful. You've probably seen it before. They're very common. Now, one last thing that I want to make this whole area a little bit easier to use. So I kind of messed up. There is a furnace generator back here, and it had speed upgrades in it. I broke the furnace generator just to see if there was anything underneath it, and yeah, that actually caused the speed upgrades to update and go, hey, we're going to use your grid power. I don't have enough grid power for that and my flight, so what we're going to do is we're going to make an Ender IO machine called a dimensional transceiver. And what this does is it lets us transport items, fluids, and power wirelessly across any dimension and all that kind of stuff. It's not terribly expensive, but we are going to need 2 of them. And I swore we had more vibrant alloy than that. Apparently not. So, do we have energetic alloy? We do. So we're going to need 9. And vibrant alloy, if you don't recall, is literally just ender pearls. So let's get 9 ender pearls. I swore we had more of those. Maybe not. So let's get that cooking up. It should not take too long. And then the other thing we're going to need is 8 more electrical steel. So let's get that going. So that is going to require iron, coal, and silicon. So that is easy enough. And iron. Alright, so this should not take too long to craft. And then what we will get is 2 of these dimensional transceivers. So once we have the 8 electrical steel here in a second, perfect. We can make both of these and go on from there. So we just make 2 of these. Hopefully we have enough of the dark steel. We do, just barely. And we can set one up right here. It does need a capacitor, so that is fine. That's where all of our vibrant alloy probably went. Capacitors. We have a double layer. That should work well enough. We're not going too far or anything like that. So what we are going to be doing is main add. We're going to be sending power on main. And if we go to the alchemy lab, we will be back here, I guess. I'm going to be rearranging all of this, so it's going to look different here soon. But you can see we have 4.5 million IUs or UIs, micro infinities. And so if we do something similar, but put this on receive, do we need to have wires? So it is now receiving energy. Maybe if we break that, will it input? Yeah, so it inputs a lot more because these energy conduits are kind of terrible. So that is going to give us a ton of power up here. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to rearrange this whole thing. And I will be back once I have a little bit more progress done in getting the fusion controller as well as whatever else we can get our hands on. So I'll be back in a bit. Alright, so I did a little bit of exploration, done work with alchemy, and I actually have a little bit of stuff ready to kind of explore with you guys, because I don't know, there's not too much information on Alchemistry, the mod. There is a book, but we don't have the mod in this mod pack that enables it, so unfortunate. But I was exploring up here. I'm on top of the space station and everything, on the bedrock box, and I noticed there's some weird looking stuff out there, and I kind of want to go look at it. So what we're going to do is we are going to just teleport over here. There is some very weird structures, and fun fact, I think we're out of range to use. Oh no, it just didn't want to use for whatever reason. I don't know what is up with this, but this is the actual end. There is Meduite. I don't know how to say that. There is Endermen everywhere. There are Ender lilies everywhere. I don't know that there's anything really hidden out here. This is kind of out of the bounds of the map. I do know that there is the one map. I want to see what that is. There is the unknown map that we got, and I don't know exactly where that goes. Abyssium. There's also there's some meteorites that are around that do different things. And now the question is, can we get back? So yeah, there is a lot of weirdness out here. But I don't know. You can kind of see where the map makers, not so much with this set of stuff, but you can see in some of the areas where they like carved out the area. Alright, well, here's hoping that we can get close enough to teleport back in before we die. Let's just... There we go. Alright, we made it back. That was a little scary. So, yeah, I've been working up here in the alchemy lab. Let's actually go first back to the observatory, because I have really been digging. The mountain is gone, and I've dug quite a bit of an area with it as well. You can see I've been doing a lot of digging, and one of the big things I've been doing is actually put Silk Touch onto our hammer, because that enables us to get stone and tungsten, which we need a lot of. It's a 0.14% chance from normal cobblestone, but if it's stone, it's like almost a 2% chance. So I've been getting a bunch of stone from digging and turning that into tungsten. So we actually have enough, and this is when we can, let's go ahead and grab some of our gear. Obviously, I put everything away so that it wouldn't, you know, disappear when we died, but we didn't actually die. So what we are going to do now is we're going to head up to the alchemy lab and get lost. We are going to put that in there and get some tungsten alloys so that we can make our fusion casing. So I'm hoping that if we make the fusion controller, which we just need a piece of glass. Does thickened glass work? No. So we're going to need some glass. Not much, but just a little bit. And observatory, this will take next to no time. If we just come over here to the alloy smelter, put it on furnace mode, we'll get some glass. So what we're going to do, this is the overarching plan, and I've kind of said this, but I've decided we are not going to kill many more withers. We're going to kill maybe one. And the whole idea is we're going to use this fusion to make more nether stars. The only thing that really kind of is awful to get, well, is these 4 on the corners. The rest is just hydrogen. Titanium we can get pretty easily from black dye. So there's some things that we need to do. I need to go set up the sheep, but I have been very quickly just getting rid of everything and turning it into the elements that it's made out of. So there's no proteins, no cellulose. It's all just hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, and the rest. Mostly those 3 though. So we have the fusion controller. Now if I place this down, invalid fusion multi-block. Cool. It doesn't actually tell me anything about that. That's unfortunate. But we have the beginnings of it. So I'm going to have to do some research. I know it's a 5x5 structure, so I'm going to have to figure out what it is and what it requires with this fusion core. Hopefully it only takes like 1 of these. But while I have you guys here, while I am not, you know, running around doing everything else, there's a couple things left to do that I'd like to do real quick. And I guess let's just pop up here. Easiest way to do that. And I found another trophy. I actually found this one before when I was doing my exploration on everything. Also, I need to go up there and break that. But I forgot about it, and it was somewhere I didn't remember. So what we have is right down here. There are Endermen everywhere, by the way. But there is a cave spider trophy right here. And so that is yet another one. There's not too many left. Let's see. We can go ahead and get these rewards. We've completed this section. We've completed that section. So there are 4 more trophies, presumably. Let's go ahead and head down to the monument. And actually, before we do that, let's run back over to the observatory and grab the Blaze trophy. By the way, I've only found 1 mini chest in there that had a poppy in it. That's it. So not much that we've discovered yet, but let's see. Cave spider and Blaze. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 more trophies. There is the petition and then the blocks that we need. And we're actually going to, real quick, if we can, I want to make an igneous extruder. Alright, we have nothing for it. So, machine frame is easy enough. We're going to need 2 sets of copper gears. We're going to need a redstone reception coil. And then we're going to need some invar. So that is iron and nickel. And I think it's 2 iron to 1 nickel. but I'm not entirely sure. So we're just going to pop a bunch in here. And that works. That is the wrong place. We're going to get some Invar. Now, do we have... We do not have an igneous extruder yet. But we make one. And then we get a resonant conversion kit. And that is kind of the key. So I think what we're going to do... How do I want to do this? I guess we'll meet in the middle. So if we put an igneous extruder here, we can tell it to make cobblestone. We can put a resonant kit on it. We could augment it. Namely, we could get processing speed. But more than anything, let's get some conduits. We need to hook this up. This is going to be slightly dangerous. But not that dangerous. So we're going to put insert, extract always active. We want output on that side. And I do believe we put water in there and just a single thing of lava. And it should never run out of either of those. It doesn't actually consume the materials. And then we just need to run power to it. And that should start making cobblestone. And then what we can do is we can speed this up. And it's already pretty fast. So I might have to make better things for it, but it's only using 60 RF per tick. That's not too terrible. Our system will keep up with that just fine, and that is going to give us a lot more cobblestone so that we can hopefully get the sextuple, the 9 sextuple we need, so we can get a septuple relatively quickly. So the other thing that we can do with that is, do we have any augments? No. This is actually really cheap. Let's make 4 of them. I don't know if we can use all 4, but we'll find out. There are Endermen everywhere. So now it is using 300 RF per tick, but is just immediately making cobblestone. So we might want to make, I'll probably have to make some extract speed upgrades for this guy, but yeah, we're definitely going to need to do that. And I'll do that off camera, but that is going to give us a ton of cobblestone. And that is perfect. That's what we need. So yeah, that is going to fill up very quickly. So before we make another cut and I go do things for a while, uncommon reward, reinforced conversion kit, not bad. Station crate, nothing great there. Okay, so put all that stuff away, and I can go back out and continue working on chemistry stuff. I'm going to dig a bunch, try to get more tungsten so that we can get more fusion stuff, and I'll come back once we're more or less ready to make the fusion crafting. So be back after a long time. So I have some bad news. Basically, this episode is not going to be the last one of this series. Oh boy, this is taking forever to get done, and a little bit of it is because I'm stubborn. So I've started to work towards making the fusion crafter, fusion, whatever you want to call it, the Alchemistry Fusion chamber. That is going to be kind of required to get some of the more difficult elements that we need to make the nether stars so that we can finish up this map. Reminder, we need 18 nether stars. A block of infused, evil infused iron ingots will require 2 nether stars, and the extreme crafting table requires 8 crystal matrix ingots, which requires 2 nether stars each, so that is 18 total nether stars. Now, we could just go kill the wither 18 times. There is a wither spawner that we have, and that is 100% something we could do. I don't want to. That doesn't sound like fun to me. What does sound like fun is wasting my time processing Endstone to get tons of silicon dioxide. But in all seriousness, I want to go with the fusion chamber because that sounds like a lot more fun to me. And to be perfectly honest, we're not like super overpowered. So, what's the problem? Well, making the fusion reactor chamber thing requires a bunch of neodymium, which we've gotten from rewards. Tungsten, we need, what, 52 more tungsten? And tungsten comes from mostly stone. There is another source of tungsten that is really nice, and that is iron ore. Iron ore gives you guaranteed 2 tungsten, and we've been getting a lot of that from digging. So I've been getting a lot of stone and iron ore from this place. This is Summerhaven, and I was silly. I forgot that all of the different spatial storage. So we have, let's see, we have 7 Summerhavens in here. They're all exactly the same. They are all this area that I'm currently digging out. So we don't get any extras, only 1. And I've dug out. The mountain is gone. In fact, this entire side of the map, apart from the cloud up there, is completely destroyed all the way down to the bottom. I've been digging a lot, and yeah, it's taken some time, but that should give you an idea of how long I've been spending on this. The other thing is I have 4 neutronium and almost another block in here. So that's how long this has been going. How long I've been just kind of AFKing. I actually let this AFK overnight. And just trying to get stuff done. The big stopper is Cobblestone. I made 4 more igneous extruders, resonant level. We don't have enough power to power them all at the same time. So yeah, and all I have to show for that currently is 4 sextuple compressed cobblestone. We're only halfway there. So yeah, I need more time to finish this map up. But let's go back to the alchemy and talk about the rest of this. So the bigger stopper, and why I am working on getting Endstone processed, is thorium. We need 4.5 stacks of thorium. We currently have half a stack. And to give you an idea, thorium is a 0.56% from each Endstone we process, and there is no other way to get it. Thorium ingots don't really matter at all, and yeah, it's awful. So we need 4.5 stacks to make 3 of these fusion cores. These require nether stars. The nether stars, we have all the materials right here except for the luteum, which turns out there's ore. And I have been kind of accidentally discovering that. And it's not too bad to acquire. We've been getting a bit of it from, like I said, mining all of that Summerhaven out. And yeah, we've got a good bit of luteum. So that is not a problem. In fact, we can go ahead and let's go ahead and make the neutronium block. That is a monument item. And let's go ahead and tell this to make nether stars. And then we will just make the nether stars. So this was not too bad to make 3 nether stars. We need 18 more. These are going to go here. And so yeah, the big thing is tungsten, which we're getting pretty quickly, but the thorium is awful. So to give you an idea of what I've been doing with the thorium, by the way, I get all of this silicon dioxide from both the Endstone and the normal stone, And what I've been doing with that is bringing it over here, putting it in here, and making cobblestone. Every silicon dioxide gives me it gives you 2 cobblestone. So it's not too bad, to be honest. It's going to take some time to process all of it and all that kind of fun stuff. But I've been getting compressed cobblestone and trying to augment my whole, cobblestone production over here with that. And yeah, it's just slow going. So once we get the fusion reactor, what then? Well, that's when things get easy, actually. So I did all the math. We need 90 stacks of hydrogen. We have 200. So that is not a problem at all. And then we're going to need 18 stacks each of luteum, dysprosium, titanium, and mendelvium. So let's start with titanium. Titanium is really easy. The source is ink. You can get titanium from titanium oxide, which comes from black dye. I've already gotten that. The sheep farm gave me a bunch of black wool, and I processed some of it. We have 22 stacks of it. That is more than enough. Luteum, we need a bunch of that. And the source is, like you saw, the ore. So we currently have just 2.5 stacks. The other source is purpur blocks, and it's like a 50% chance. So that is really, really easy to get as well. Purpur is easy to get in our phyogenic isolator, and I even have some just lying around. But that's not a problem. Diprosium comes from stone, and mendelvium comes from wither skulls. And the wither skulls one is actually pretty frequent. Yeah, you get half a stack per skull. However, if we get the fusion chamber up, we can make diprosium from tin and sulfur, potassium and silver, or antimony and phosphor. And we're getting a lot of antimony, or we did, from, what was it, the cobalt, the light blue dye. And we can also get the mendelvium from gold and titanium, which is also pretty easy to get. So those are just some of the combinations that I was thinking about and looking at this periodic table and going, okay, adding up numbers, because how the fusion reactor works, fusion chamber works, is it takes the numbers. So if you put 2 hydrogens in there, 1 plus 1 equals 2, so you get a helium. If you put carbon is 6, and a helium, you'll get oxygen. 6 plus 2 equals 8. And that's all it is. So you try to find 2 numbers that add up to what you want. That's why I have the atomic numbers here. And it works pretty well. So the big thing is getting all this thorium. And the thorium has been awful to get. That is, without a doubt, the worst part of it. So this has now processed all of the endstone that I had. And I have gotten a little over half a stack. Now, to give you an idea, I went outside of the area. Let's go up here, and let's just do it this way. I've discovered there is a pretty easy way to get up here. So you get up here, and I went one direction, and went out to the actual end and started mining up all of the endstone. And I filled up most of the rest of this bag, all of this bag, and my inventory, and I got half a stack of thorium. So it's going to take some time. I'm going to have to go mine a lot. And I've run out of time. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to record more of this episode. It needs to get edited and uploaded before, before the end of today, to be honest. And so, yeah, I've run out of time to finish this. So let's go ahead and put the neutronium block on the monument. We'll get 4 legendary rewards for that. Storage cell with, this has the emeralds, I believe. Vibrant alloy is nice, and everything else is whatever. So we still need the extreme crafting table, the block of evil infused iron, and then the septuple compressed cobblestone. So there's a few more things we're going to do before we end this episode. Let's go back to the observatory, because I also don't want this episode to get super long. So we have the 4. I found 2 mini chests while digging. One had a poppy in it, one had Miranda's scythe. Both of those have been, I think we saw them before, but I'm going to continue kind of destroying this entire area. I have all the sponges in my one bag because of the water that was there. The water is gone. So yeah, I'm just going to continue destroying this area. It's a lot of stone, so it's nice. And you might notice I have 10 basic rewards. How did I get those? Well, there's a lot of secrets in this map, and I found out a way to find them really easily. If you hold the Yeta wrench, let's see, where is one? Oh, there's one, and I don't think I got that one. If you hold the Yeta wrench, item buffers lose their camouflage. Yeah, I missed that one. So I do wonder if this is where the petition is hiding. Is it's secretly like in an item buffer somewhere? But there are a ton. If we go, let's see, there's one there, and it's really easy if I just switch back and forth. You can see them a lot easier. But if we pop down here, I do this. There are a ton of them just lying around everywhere. So I went around searching for some of these item buffers, and I found, well, now 11 of them. So we can go ahead and open up all this. Let's put our Yeta wrench back. And no good elements, unfortunately. So let's put all this stuff away. None of this is that good. I guess I will go ahead and put this down here. Now, one last thing to kind of talk about, and actually before we do that, I do want to make sure that that is, in fact, I believe it's emeralds is what's in that one. Yeah, it's 1,000 emeralds. Okay, so before we end today's episode, what I want to finish off with is I found a couple more trophies, and I'll be honest, I was flying around again. I've also explored a little bit, and this is in my test world, I've explored a little bit of the outside world, the end area, and I actually found the place where the map points us. And I looked at it, and it doesn't seem to be all that great. So there is a giant X, and I was thinking, you know, oh, that's just where we're supposed to dig. No, there is literally a giant X out in the end, and it's in one of the, you can almost see it from one of the sides I didn't look off of. But the reason I was out there exploring is because earlier, I think it was earlier, I saw an angel block floating above the void, and I wanted to see what was up with that. There is treasure on it. It's just legendary loot stuff. Nothing too great, but yeah, I went out and looked around. Didn't see anything that is going to help us all that much, but I might show off some of that stuff later. Anyways, we need blocks, and we need water. For these, I know where 2 trophies are off the top of my head, and I had to go look. I had to explore around a little bit, mostly just because of I looked in the obvious places, and I looked in creative, well, spectator mode, because it's easier to get there and check quickly than it is to go slow. Now, one thing I should mention, I did check. Repair the injustice. I took that as, is that a hint? Maybe there's something in here. Didn't find anything. Although I didn't do this. Let's see if there's any item buffers. I don't see any. Okay. So I think the easiest way to deal with this is to come down here. Now, we cannot break laboratory blocks, but we can break dense cable and controllers. And you might guess that, yes, in fact, there's a trophy right there. Okay, that is really annoying. Pick that water up. And let's put that there. What if we break these? Oh, of course. Alright, so what's going to be the easiest way to do this? Let's just try to get down here. And, whoop, lag spike. I do not like that. What I want to do, oh man, this is awful. Let's just get out here and fly. Because what I want to do is put a block there. Oh, I know what's going on. Let's grab our boots out and let's take off the flippers. So right here is where we want to be. And let's just get some of this. And we've got to use a normal pickaxe. And there is the Guardian Trophy. Alright. So, next up, we are going to go ahead and pick that up. The other one is actually kind of funny because I talked about it because I saw something and then I went and go look and see, is there anything else we can do with that area? And turns out there's a trophy there. So what I'm talking about is right over here, I noticed that there is some of the, what is it? Oh, what's the metal? I don't remember what the metal is. But there's some blocks there underneath. And turns out there's 3 blocks down there because the 4th is a trophy. Let's see, we should be able to break these. And we can put a water bucket. So yeah, there is Ori class blocks on 3 of them and a villager on the 4th. So let's not do it that way. Alright, so let's get this taken care of. And let's get our villager. So pretty easy. But yeah, there is the Ori class blocks hanging around. Let's grab our water. And cool. That was not the right thing to hit, but luckily it didn't do anything. And so let's head back over to the monument. We have the Guardian Trophy, which is right here. And then the Villager, which I believe they can give you emeralds. Let's get the completions. So we get an epic and an epic. Epics are actually pretty good because they can give us good stuff. But those aren't that great. So that is all that I've found so far. We're going to end the episode off here. I'm going to continue working on getting the compressed cobblestone. By the way, we do have a broken wither skeleton spawner, so we can always, you know, get wither skeleton skulls pretty easily if we so choose. But yeah, so I need to get to a lot of work. We have a lot to do, and yeah, hopefully when the next episode is recorded, I'll be pretty much done with everything. There is a few things that we'll have to do, but hopefully we'll be done with the cobblestone. If we can finish that up, then I think we'll be fine. So that is the plan. One more episode after this, and hopefully we'll find everything by then and go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!